I'm Mickey Boardman. I'm the editorial director of Paper Magazine, which is a New York-based pop culture magazine, and we cover everything from fashion to music to movies to theater. And we've been around for 27 years, and I've been here for 20 years. It's the only real job I've ever had. You know, people say that basically we're a magazine for people who love New York, regardless of where they live. So if people want to know what's happening in New York, in terms of who the new bands are, the new actors, the fashion designers, things that are happening in New York, we say we're for culture vultures, people who just can't get enough of what's new and what's happening. They're talking official business. We shouldn't be eavesdropping. This is Sung-hee. Hey, Sung-hee. She's Korean, so this is going to be good for your Korean market. Say 감사합니다. Say 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요, Seoul. She's busy. She can't. Do you want to see my area? I ended up in paper completely by accident, I have to say. And I never had any ambition. I never really purposely knew what I was doing. I've never had a resume. It's a bit of a mess. I apologize in advance. Hey, it's Mickey. I was born in Chicago and grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, Hanover Park, Illinois. And then I decided I wanted to study fashion design, so I moved to New York and went to Parsons School of Design, which is the school on Project Runway. Now I think Parsons is fabulous, but at the time it was very strict, and they just were completely the opposite of what I was. So meanwhile, I had always loved magazines, and Paper was my favorite magazine. Anyway, so they hired me as an intern, and then the woman who was my boss, who was the office manager, the club writer, the party photographer, she quit, and I had gotten that same week kicked out of school, so I had some free time on my hands. So they asked if I would just answer the phones temporarily until they figured out what to do, and that was 20 years ago, so here I am. This is, my schedule for Wednesday. I unfortunately missed Oscar de la Renta, Alexander Wang. I love New York Fashion Week, and I hate it at the same time. I mean, it's a crazy busy time, but I'm not gonna complain that I have to, after the Calvin Klein show, run to a cab and rush to the Anna Sui show. I mean, how dare they? Mostly what I do is arrange photo shoots and go to photo shoots. We're doing this sort of a sexy nurse thing, so that's why it's all white, because so much of the clothes were white this season. And so we've had to try to find a hospital to shoot at, which is difficult because hospitals don't want you to do fashion stories at the hospital. But we found I think I have a place, so we'll see. Knock on wood. In a way it's silly, and people always say, oh, it's not curing cancer or anything. And when you're doing an event to try to raise, $12,000 to build a clinic for women in India, suddenly, worrying about Mariah Carey's catering for the photo shoot isn't such a crisis. Do you know what I mean? I want Mariah to be happy, and she was. But at the same time, to me, that really kind of puts things in perspective, too. That doesn't mean that fashion isn't a serious business and that it's a huge business. And that doesn't mean that I don't take what I do seriously on some level, but it is, life can be fun or it can be boring, and I say make it fun.
How are you?
This is TV. They're doing a big story on me. That's how famous I am. So I'm bringing you cute Swedish girls. Hello. We are here at the Tents at Lincoln Center. There are shows nonstop from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. And right now we're here for Charlotte Ronson, who's a dear friend of mine, and it's always one of my favorite shows, so I'm very excited. I'm just really looking for cute things and sort of to see what kind of trends are happening, because then when we're deciding what to do for the magazine, fashion stories, we could say, oh, there's a lot of punk out there, or oh, there's a lot of housewife, or there's a lot of Euro trash, I don't know. Hi, Katie.
Hello, baby.
How are ya?
So good to see you. All right, wait, don't you go anywhere. There we go.
I have to get yours after.
Get out of here.
Excuse me, can I see you go behind the riser?
Sorry, Miss Lick.
Sorry, Mr. Boardman.
What a way to treat a fashion legend like yourself. Fashion can be very much like high school. People think, oh, like Anna Wintour is mean, or fashion people are mean, and they hate each other and they're backstabbers. And I really think that that's not the case. I think that very often, as in high school, people are just shy, or they're afraid to say hello to each other, or they think, oh, I'm not supposed to talk to someone who's more senior than me, you know what I mean? I just say hello to everybody and I talk to everybody. I feel like if you sit in a room with 500 people who you see all the time, wait, 10 minutes of show, run to your separate cars to get to another show to sit in a different room with the same 500 people. And you do that all day long for a week, twice a year. So you might as well be friends. I love coming backstage, and I hate coming backstage because I want to see Charlotte, and I think when someone does a show, it's almost like doing their daughter's wedding or their own wedding. You know, they put so much into it and it means so much to them that it really is important, I think, for you to be there and for you to come back and give support. But at the same time, there are hundreds of other people pushing, shoving, you know. Although Charlotte's always cool as a cucumber. I mean, she's very, you know, relaxed. She doesn't get frazzled the way some people do. Congratulations. I'll see you at your party, maybe. Come on.
Yes.
Should we go this way? Where do we go?
You want to talk in camera?
It depends what you want to talk to me about.
I want to talk about what you just saw.
You know, it's fun to have people ask your opinion. I mean, sometimes there are questions that I don't like or questions that I wish people didn't ask, but I try to make the best of it and just make it live show with me and with modeling. You don't do any modeling as far as I
used
know.
to. I used to.
And, you know, I'm from a suburb of Chicago. You know, I could be working at the McDonald's in Hanover Park, Illinois, so please, I'm just happy to be, you know, standing in the last row, or I'd be happy to sweep up afterwards here just to get a chance to see the show, let alone to have people ask me my opinion. And now look, it's all as if it never happened. Everything is just being swept away.
Mickey, could I grab a photo of you?
Sure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Have a good one.
You too.
David.
Bye, guys. Off to my next show, which is Elise Overland, and then Suno, Joseph Altazara, Daryl K, Purple Magazine Party, parties. Hope I have fun.